Imagine a world where evaluating a new drug or medical device doesn't take months of bureaucratic waiting, where safety reviews, risk assessments, compliance checks happen faster, more accurately, and without human delays. What if hidden within government agencies, algorithms quietly sifted through reams of scientific data and regulatory paperwork, helping experts make better decisions, all while preserving rigorous standards? That world may be arriving sooner than you think. Recently, a major regulatory agency announced it will begin using an advanced form of artificial intelligence that can act almost like a digital assistant, and the implications for public health, innovation, and oversight are huge. In this video, we're diving into what this shift means, how it could transform how new therapies and devices are assessed, and what we must watch out for as AI steps into the halls of regulatory power. What is Agentic AI? More than a buzzword. Agentic AI isn't just another AI label. It refers to systems designed not only to predict or classify, but to plan, reason, and execute multi-step tasks under human oversight. Unlike basic automation that performs a single function, Agentic AI can read documents, extract key information, cross-check data, draft summaries, and organize outputs, functioning like a tireless digital assistant that moves through entire workflows on its own. For a regulatory agency managing massive volumes of scientific literature, safety reports, clinical data, and submissions, this capability can drastically cut workload and accelerate reviews, letting experts focus on decisions that require human judgment. It represents a shift from earlier AI pilots toward embedding intelligent end-to-end workflows directly into the agency's core operations. What prompted this shift? The push for efficiency and modernization. The transition didn't happen suddenly. The agency had already tested basic AI tools that summarized reports, compared labels, analyzed safety data, and generated database code. These pilots delivered major efficiency gains. Work that once took days could be done in hours. Seeing the results, leadership committed to a rapid agency-wide AI rollout to address growing regulatory backlogs and modernize operations. With Agentic AI, the goal is no longer just automating small tasks, but redesigning entire workflows, from pre-market reviews and inspections to compliance checks and post-market monitoring, helping the agency keep pace with fast-moving biomedical innovation while maintaining scientific rigor and public safety. What Agentic AI will do. Practical applications inside the agency. So what does this look like in practice? Here are some concrete examples of how Agentic AI might reshape regulatory work. Streamlining pre-market reviews. When a pharmaceutical company submits a new drug for approval, the agency must review volumes of clinical data, safety reports, manufacturing data, trial protocols, and more. Agentic AI can help by extracting relevant results, summarizing adverse event reports, cross-referencing previous data, and preparing initial assessment drafts, significantly reducing the time professionals spend on administrative tasks. Enhancing scientific evaluations, medical literature, real-world data, preclinical studies. There's a massive flood of information to examine. AI agents can scan, filter, and highlight critical findings or red flags, enabling reviewers to focus attention on complex scientific judgments rather than sifting through thousands of pages. Optimizing inspection and compliance planning. For inspections, audits, or post-market surveillance, AI can identify patterns of risk, such as safety signals, manufacturing issues, or compliance irregularities, helping inspectors prioritize high-yield targets and allocate resources more effectively. Reducing human error and administrative overload by automating repetitive tasks, document formatting, data extraction, cross-checking, report drafts. AI reduces the burden on staff. This can help avoid mistakes caused by fatigue or oversight, expedite workflows, and free experts to spend time on substantive scientific and regulatory decisions. Adapting to high volumes of innovation. As biomedical innovation grows, new therapies, devices, biologics, combination products, the regulatory workload skyrockets. AI helps the agency scale its capacity without proportionally increasing human resources, enabling it to keep up with innovation while ensuring safety and compliance. Why this matters. For patients, innovation, and public health. The consequences of this shift go beyond internal bureaucratic efficiency. If implemented carefully and responsibly, the adoption of agentic AI within a major regulatory agency could reshape how quickly safe and effective therapies reach the market, which in turn can directly impact patients waiting for breakthrough treatments. For innovators and pharmaceutical companies, it may mean shorter waiting times for drug or device approvals. Faster regulatory reviews could accelerate the time it takes for life-saving therapies to be available to the public, a huge benefit for conditions where time is critical. For public health, it could mean a regulatory body better equipped to handle large volumes of safety data, post-market surveillance, and rapidly evolving science. As novel therapies, biologics, and advanced medical devices proliferate, the capacity to evaluate risks and benefits thoroughly, but efficiently, becomes more important than ever. And for everyday citizens, it could mean greater transparency, more reliable oversight, and potentially lower barriers to innovation, provided the agency combines speed with rigor and safeguards. The safeguards: why human oversight and security still matter. Of course, handing over powerful tools to AI doesn't eliminate the need for human judgment. On the contrary, it raises new responsibilities. The agency has stressed that these AI systems will operate within secure, tightly controlled computing environments, and will not train on proprietary industry data or modify submitted data. This helps protect confidentiality and ensures regulated companies' data remains secure. Moreover, although agentic AI can handle workflows, final regulatory decisions will remain under human control. AI is a tool to assist, not replace, expert reviewers and inspectors. Humans will continue to weigh trade-offs, interpret nuanced scientific data, and exercise regulatory discretion. The agency has also launched internal challenges to encourage staff to build responsible and effective agentic AI workflows, underscoring that successful deployment depends not just on technology, but also on thoughtful design, feedback, and ethical use. In effect, the agency is betting on a hybrid model, combining machine speed and consistency with human expertise, judgment, and oversight, which, if done right, could strike a new balance between innovation and safety. Possible risks, limitations, and what could go wrong. But like any major change, this comes with risks and caveats. Agentic AI, powerful though it may be, is not a guarantee of perfection or instant transformation. A few potential challenges stand out. First, there is the risk of over-reliance on AI outputs. If human reviewers lean too heavily on AI-generated summaries or analyses, there is a danger of missing context, subtle scientific nuance, or long-term risks that were not flagged. AI may accelerate processing, but it does not inherently understand long-term implications or ethical dimensions. Second, even with secure environments, there are concerns about data privacy, integrity, and compliance. The agency must ensure that sensitive submissions, clinical data, and proprietary research remain confidential and are handled appropriately. Any breach or mishandling could undermine public trust and industry confidence. Third, AI systems sometimes face issues like hallucinations, generating plausible sounding but incorrect or misleading outputs, or misinterpreting complex scientific data. In regulatory contexts, where lives and public safety are at stake, such errors could be serious. Robust validation, human review, and careful workflow design are essential to prevent such mistakes. Fourth, not all aspects of regulatory review can easily be automated. Ethical judgment, long-term risk evaluation, interpretation of novel scientific mechanisms, and public interest decisions still depend heavily on human experience, deliberation, and transparency. AI may help speed up supporting work, but complex decisions will always need human oversight. Finally, there's the danger of overpromising. Just because AI can accelerate internal workflows doesn't automatically mean drug approvals will be dramatically faster, because regulation involves not just paperwork, but real-world science, safety data, public interest, stakeholder feedback, and often unpredictable variables. The adoption of agentic AI by a major regulatory body isn't just another tech announcement, it marks the beginning of a new chapter, a potential transformation in how we regulate, evaluate, and approve medicines, devices, and public health interventions. We must watch, ask questions, demand transparency, and ensure that as regulation gets faster, faster and smarter, it also remains responsible and ethical. Whether this becomes a turning point for public health or a cautionary tale depends on what comes next and who guides the journey. If you found this breakdown illuminating and want to explore more about AI, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives, and ring the bell to stay updated. Drop a comment. What concerns or hopes do you have about AI in regulatory agencies, faster approvals, or potential risks?